Happy Fun Day, people. So I'm really excited to share this live with you, this video, which you probably can tell from the energy. I didn't intend to do this today, but when I got reminded about the 4-burner theory, I just had to, I couldn't wait. I couldn't wait till doing it tomorrow or whatever next week. I just had to go on and do it today. So this is about the 4-burner theory. I want to talk about that today, but I also want to announce a free live training, a small mini training that I'll be hosting in the Facebook group that I've put together and created, where, you know, like-minded people like us who are wanting to get life and business right, we can hang out there, we can share some content, and I'll be sharing much more in-depth material like this. And so yeah, but more about that free live training in the end of this live video, okay? So the 4-burner theory, anyone heard of it? Well, I didn't until I read a blog post a while back, and the idea behind the 4-burner theory is this: the 4 burners are gas burners. Okay, for us in Sweden, we don't know maybe too much about the gas burners because we only have these stove kind of things, electrical ones. But anyway, it's 4 burners, gas burners, right? And your life consists of these 4 burners. So you have work, health, friends, and family. Those are your 4 burners, and it's to be your 4 most important areas in your life. The theory states, if you want to be successful in life, you have to turn off one of the burners. But if you want to be really successful, you have to turn off 2 of your 4 burners. Now, what burners will you turn off? Right? The first time I heard that, I was intrigued, interested, but also a bit shocked, because as a life coach, I kind of won't go with that idea that you actually have to sacrifice such a crucial key component of your life in order to be successful, right? So it occupied me for several days just thinking about this idea of, is it really true? Like, do you really have to do it that way in order to achieve real success? And, you know, what burners would I sacrifice? Because to the story, like, I did sacrifice several of my burners to get where I was as a high-level manager. I'm not even sure I had to, but that was the way I did it. And that was also the awakening I had along the journey, going like, oh, actually, you know, I'm not happy because I'm not fulfilled. So, but I'll get back to that. So think about that. You have work, health, friends and family. What 2 burners would you sacrifice in order to really light up the other 2 so that you can create really massive success, right? Now, whatever your answer is, this is my take on it. Can you truly be really successful in life if you're having to sacrifice 2 key components like that? I say no. What came to my mind as I was thinking about this theory was that redefine success. Well, first, define success, right? If we're defining success from a monetary perspective or a career perspective, title, status, belongings, material possessions, yeah, makes sense that you would maybe have to sacrifice a few things along the way in order to get to that point where you can fully buy everything you want, or do, you know, have the massive career you've always wanted. But, you know, it's based on maybe the conventional definition of a success. So I think the answer to this 4-burner theory, or the how do you say that? The alternative take on it, my take on it, is to redefine success. I will say, you're not going to be really successful in life if you sacrifice one or two of those four burners. I say real success happens only because you're having those four burners active in your life. So you have the signs of success. You know, from the words of Tony Robbins, he talks about the signs of success, meaning that success leaves clues, right? You can replicate success. You can read 100 books on the topic of creating a profitable business. And if you follow most of those advices, or you put some of those together, there's a red thread. You follow that thread, and you are supposed. I mean, you're bound to replicate some of that result. But then you have the art of fulfillment. Now, the art of fulfillment is an art form because it's very unique and it's tied to each and every individual. What fulfills you might not be fulfilling me, right? So it's an art form. You can't listen to someone else's dream and go like, oh, so if I do that, then I'll be fulfilled as well. It doesn't work that way. You have to figure out your own, path to fulfillment. When you have success without fulfillment, it's the worst kind of success. You have everything you're supposed to want or have, and yet you're not happy. That's the worst kind of success. That's the time when you start doubting yourself. You're going like, I have everything I want or everything I need and still missing something. There's got to be something wrong with me. And that's a horrible place to be at. I used to be there. I created for myself everything I wanted, and yet I felt like a loser. Yet I did not feel successful. And that's when I woke up. That's when I started on the path of actually reaching personal fulfillment. When you have personal fulfillment, success becomes the byproduct of that. Right? So, again, redefine success for you. This is such an important thing. Make sure that the success that you have in your mind, when I speak about success or the four burner theory, what comes to your mind? And if it's not really your version of success, and especially if it doesn't lead you towards personal fulfillment, redefine it, right? Go for what makes your heart come alive, right? So whatever have you experiencing more of who you are or who you're wanting to become, now go for that. All right, so let's see. Is a recap necessary? You've got the four burner theory: family, friends, work, and health. Do you have to sacrifice two of them in order to be really successful? But here's my take on it. Don't sacrifice one or two or any number of burners. Actually redefine success. You will not be happy and have true real life success if you're having to sacrifice. You actually have to redefine that success and realize that all those four burners, and probably some other burners as well, are necessary in order for you to achieve personal success. So if this is interesting to you, I'm going to be hosting a small live mini training on Wednesday next week at 5 p.m. Central European time, which is 8 a.m. Los Angeles time, 11 a.m. New York, and 10 p.m. in Bangkok time. I'm saying those times because, well, I have clients in those time zones and those parts of the world. So if any one of you are listening, you kind of know, the time for that. Anyway, the mini training is being hosted in the group that I put together called Life, Business and it's Getting It Right, Life, Business and Beyond. Easy. I put together that group in order for us to dive deeper into topics like this. How you actually create like the real balance, the real harmony, the real freedom around life and business. So you can join that group through that group, you'll have access to the mini training, which is hosted on Wednesday. There's an event inside of that group where you can join, and you'll see the actual time in your time zone based on where you are. If you haven't joined the group yet, there's a link somewhere on this post where you can get access to that group. It's a free group, so just join, and and that's it. In that live mini training, we're going to go through the #1 coaching tool in the world. And it's the #1 for a good reason, right? It's used by so many coaches around the world. And it's such a fantastic tool to redefine success and to create your personal roadmap to fulfilling it. Okay? So if that's interesting to you, join the group. It's called Getting It Right, Life, Business and Beyond. You can search for it, or just click the link in this post and you'll get access to it. And on Wednesday, the live training is hosted. If you can't attend the live training, that's fine. If you're in the group, you'll have access to the replay anyway, so you can use that. All right, so I'm seeing some friends popping in. Marco's in the house. That's really cool. He's getting married in September, I think, so I'm joining him for that. Anyway, so thank you for watching, and happy fun day, and be well, take care, and I'll see you in that group and on Wednesday for that live training. Peace.